Marcelo's 3 books, the first of them is Motherland, then comes Nothing for Which to Ask Forgiveness, and then we have What America Owes to Spain. What I do is dismantle the Black Legend, as the title says. None of the 3 books is the same as the other. They are complementary and there is no repetition. In Motherland, I dismantle the Black Legend, that is to say, the false history of Spain constructed by Spain's enemies. A metaphorical court of history that was England, France, the United States, and Germany had their hands stained with blood, and I show what British colonization was, what disasters France caused in its own history and in the colonies. And Spain's legacy in America was 2 fundamental things. Thanks to Spain, we are heirs to the most wonderful culture in the history of humanity, the Greco-Roman Catholic culture. With Spain came America, Cicero, St. Augustine, St. Thomas, but also Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. But evangelization is fundamental, because what is hidden from young people is that before evangelization, America was not a paradise where we were all naked, making love freely, eating mango. It was hell. Hell because what reigned were gods of terror and death that engendered a culture of terror and death. So, the evangelization of America meant the liberation of those peoples from that culture of death. Keep in mind that they say, you, professor, are against the native peoples. No, look, I am in favor of the majority of the 80% of the population that lived in what is now Mexico, Mesoamerica, that the Aztecs ate, which was 12%. I am against the Aztecs. Because the Aztecs were cannibalistic imperialists, but I'm in favor of 80% or 85%, almost 90%, because for them it means liberation, but also for the Aztecs, because their gods were horrible gods who wouldn't let those they dominated live, because every night they went to bed with the anguish that if they didn't give human blood to their gods, the sun wouldn't shine again. And this is horrible. It's horrible. So, this book talks about how evangelization was, that it wasn't an authoritarian evangelization. The Indians converted because they felt like it. And the best way to prove that the Indians converted because they felt like it is that no one gives their life for something they don't believe in, for something that has been imposed on them. They give their life voluntarily, voluntarily. And when the Mexican government tried to uproot Catholicism, the humblest, the peasant masses, the most Indian of all, rose up against that pseudo-revolutionary and Mexican government, shouting, "Long live Christ the King," and "the Virgin of Guadalupe."
Well, let's start, right? As we said before, with the Black Legend.
The Black Legend is a mortal blow. It is a poison that is introduced into the world against Spain to defeat it culturally, because it could not be defeated militarily, right?
Relativism. I don't believe in relativism. That all religions are languages that lead to God is false. All religions are not languages that lead to God, and all religions are not the same. If all religions were the language to reach God, tomorrow I would renounce Catholicism. Tomorrow or tonight, because it is the most difficult of all to fulfill. So, then, why would I be Catholic? Well, if it is not true, do you understand? If it is not true that Christ is true man and true God, and that God fulfilled the promise made to Abraham, to Moses, to everyone, do you understand? The prophets of the Messiah, and it is not true that Christ is God incarnate, then nothing. Then, nothing is true. Everything is relative. The fruits of Catholic culture, this is the Hispanic culture, with defects, with errors, but we did not exterminate the Indian populations as the Anglo-Saxons did in North America.